I don't play this game for statistic benefit. I play this game to win.
Find a way now. Find a way. That's it. That's it.
It's old school football. It's going to be a hard-fought game, strong-fought game. We got to get our feet in the ground and get ready for a battle.
Let's go!
Oh, yes, we all remember what happened in the 2019 Super Bowl. The Patriots absolutely beating up on the Rams. And tonight we see these two teams face off again for the first time since. Hello, everybody. Welcome on into First Take. It's Thursday. We're happy to have you here with us. I'm Charlie Arnold, Stephen A. Smith, Max Kellerman in the house. And gentlemen, what a crazy past couple of weeks it really has been. Lots of shuffling around of the schedules, but finally, it looks like we're about to enter what can be considered a normal Week 14, and it starts tonight. The Patriots are visiting the Rams, and the Patriots, as we know, they're really fighting for their playoff lives. They are 6-6 as it stands right now. So, Max, I asked you, what do you think? Are the Patriots going to upset the Rams tonight?
I think they will. I think the Patriots are upsetting the Rams. There's a reason they've won 4 of 5, the Pats, right now. And there's a reason that they're only 6-6, incidentally. And I think that's because not only did they have a quarterback coming off a catastrophic injury in the first year on a team that had a quarterback that was the opposite of him, right? Not only did they have defections off the defense, Hightower and Chung, before the season started, and they lost Gilmore for a while, but then Cam got COVID, and the team facility shut down. They couldn't practice. So they lost a couple games in the middle there. They lost some squeakers to Seattle and to Buffalo. But in the middle, they lost a couple of games like against Denver and games that they may have won otherwise that's making their record look worse than it is. But even so, they have so many quality wins. The Dolphins, the Raiders, Arizona. They beat good teams. And as I said, they came a play away from beating Seattle and a play away from beating Buffalo. They beat and compete with good teams. And the reason is they have the greatest coach in the history of the game. Remember last season, Stephen A., when we said Mike Tomlin did his best coaching job because without Roethlisberger, he went 8-8. They had a chance to go 9-7 last game of the season, right? Before they lost to the Ravens. Belichick may be doing his best. He's 6-6 now, and maybe should be 8-4, and maybe had COVID not hit 9-3 or something like that. Nevertheless, you are what your record says you are. They're a 6-6 team, but they are trending in the right direction. They are playing great defense. Cam Newton seems to be getting better and better in recent weeks as he distances himself from COVID. They just beat up on the other LA team 45-0, and the Rams have a quarterback who right now has a turnover problem. You better play mistake-free against a Belichick team. I think Goff right now is making a few too many mistakes, and I like the Patriots in an upset on the road.
Max, I absolutely disagree with you. I think you're wrong about this. I understand that the Patriots are trending in the right direction, but I like what I've seen from the Rams. The Rams in the last 4 weeks have beaten Seattle, Tampa, and Arizona. The one game that they lost to the San Francisco 49ers, that was because Deebo Samuels looked like the second coming of Jerry Rice with 11 receptions for 133 yards. With the exception of that, the Rams would be on a 4-game winning streak. So I look at it from that perspective, and I don't see anybody on the New England Patriots that can do that kind of damage. I will remind you that the Patriots won the game last week primarily because the Los Angeles Chargers are just pathetic right now. I think Anthony Lynn is going to get himself fired. You can't lose leads of 21 to 17-point leads twice, an 11-point lead, et cetera, throughout this season with a rookie quarterback that's playing lights out, and you're going to get to keep your job. Ultimately, you're going to be the one held accountable because your special team stinks, and obviously your defense and your offense both appear to be demoralized under your stewardship. Anthony Lynn is in a world of trouble, and that's what the Patriots ran into last week. And where's the evidence? Because Cam Newton, who you talked about trending in the right direction, 12 of 19 for 69 yards. I mean, forgive me, stop the presses. What a spectacular performance by his part. Let's stop the nonsense here. It was more a product of the Chargers and how pathetic they have been as opposed to the New England Patriots. There's no excuse to lose 45-0 to the Patriots. In the end, that ain't going to happen to the Los Angeles Rams, which is the top 5 defense, number 1 against the pass, and number 3 against the rush. And you got cats like Aaron Donald and Brockers and Leonard Ford and those boys coming at Cam Newton. I don't see this being a good day. I understand that Bill Belichick is an exceptional coach, and he'll make things interesting because he's going to befuddle Jared Goff, and that's usually when they've struggled. Fair enough. He struggled against San Francisco. He struggled against Miami. Those are 2 of the losses they've had in the last 6 weeks, so that is fair. But the question is, can you generate anything offensively? And I don't believe that the New England Patriots are going to be able to generate anything offensively against this particular defense. I just don't see it.
Well, listen, the Patriots, among the teams they've beaten recently, are Baltimore and Arizona. As I said, they're having quality wins against good teams. Now, they squeaked by the Jets, but again, that was coming out of that period where they had to shut down the facilities and Cam was getting over COVID, and even later said, you and I observed on the air, we wondered out loud, is he suffering still from some kind of lingering effects? And then Cam referred to it. So I think it's fair to say, yes, they almost beat the Bills, they squeaked by the Jets, but then they beat Baltimore at a time when that still seemed like a really good win, and Arizona, who'd been hot not too long before that. Now, it's one thing to beat the Chargers, Stephen A., who are a talented team. And this is what I mean about Belichick. Who has more talent on it, the Chargers or the Patriots? It's one thing to beat the Chargers. To beat them 45-0? 45-0? As bad as Anthony Lynn must be, what does that mean? If you gave Belichick the Chargers roster, he'd win 90-0? Can you get 45 to negative 40?
That's probably about what it means.
Coaching acumen. Yeah, right.
90-0.
Belichick's coaching acumen.
Right.
90-0. It's a 90-point swing. The spread should be 90 points on the game. Belichick's coaching acumen, Stephen A., I've compared him to Floyd Mayweather as a coach. Remember Floyd's great quote, you better not make no mistakes, because Floyd's saying no one's perfect, but he's going to make fewer mistakes than you, and he's going to punish you for the mistakes you do make. That's Belichick and the Patriots. He's not perfect, but they will make fewer mistakes than the other team. They did it in the Super Bowl, and they won a defensive struggle, and you even brought it up yourself. Fair enough. Belichick versus Goff. We've seen this movie before. The Rams have a better defense now, but still, we've seen that before. And Goff, particularly recently, has had a fumble and just a turnover issue, an interception turnover issue. And McVay's addressed it. He's at bad news going into a game with the Patriots.
The Rams have a better defense, but the Patriots have a considerably worse offense. They're bereft of weapons. Let's call it what it is. They don't have any passing attack worth speaking of. They run the football effectively, and they use Cam Newton to help assist in that regard. Against these Los Angeles Rams, I just don't see that happening. One of the things I've been so incredibly impressed by is the balance on the defensive side of the ball. They can stop the run. They can stop the pass because they can get to the passer, but they can also defend in the secondary. They can zone. They can man up. They can do whatever needs to be done. They can play whatever style needs to be played. The acquisition of Jalen Ramsey last year has really buffered that defense significantly because, again, not only is he gifted, but he's physical. And so because he's physical in the back and you've got them brothers in Donald and Brockers and others physical up front, again, they can beat you with physicality. They can beat you with athleticism. They can beat you with speed. And obviously, they've got the acumen necessary. I just don't see the New England Patriots offense having a good day against this defense. I just don't see it.
Real quick, what the Patriots have now, what you identified is actually a strength of the Patriots. What they didn't have early was an identity, really. What kind of team are they going to be with Cam Newton instead of Tom Brady, especially coming off an injury? So different, right? They know their identity now. Their identity is they're going to run the ball and they're going to play great defense, especially in the secondary. That's who they are, and they've employed that. They've deployed those weapons successfully. They've done that strategy, executed it successfully. They are an ascending team. No one's trying to play the Patriots right now.
One more thing, Max. Jared Goff has completed better than 72% of his passes 3 of the last 4 games. And they've won those 3 games. So when you talk about, he's not playing that great, I would beg to differ. He's ascending.
No, he's completing passes, but he's also turning the ball over in the recent past.
Okay. He's got 4 interceptions.
All right. Well, we talk about the defense of the Patriots. They have only allowed